welcome back to the Winning Moment Show. We have a special episode for you guys today. We have, to my left here, the famous Coach Ward. And to my right, we're missing in the studio the hardest working man in media, Kevin Deainy Jr., because he is live with us right now in Binghamton at the Visions Veterans Memorial Arena, ready to watch the state championships. How we doing over there, Kev?
Oh, we're doing great. I lost my voice, but we're also in this very crowded arena right now in double overtime of our game before Rye, Seton Catholic and Penfield. And it's pretty loud, but it's a great environment on this Friday morning.
Friday morning, March Madness, day 2 of the actual March Madness tournament. Day 1 of the regional finals the semifinals, getting to the state semifinals to get to the state championships. And we got our main man here, Kevin Deainy Jr. live. How awesome is that?
Can't beat it.
Yeah, so it's great. Right now we will have some technical difficulty here and there because currently in upstate New York, they haven't improved to the 5G, Coach. They haven't got the good Wi-Fi in upstate New York.
No comment with regard to that situation. I'm going to leave that where it's at. So,
Coach does not travel outside of Section 1. He likes to keep it right there, right? So
I barely can get to Rockland County. So, with the plastic pieces thing,
right,
that helps me get across the
bridge.
little
plastic thing that you put up there in Rockland County.
Across the bridge, absolutely.
Well, when we can, we'll get back to Kevin at the arena put together. But, Coach, listen. This is some of your favorite time of the year. We got
absolutely
March Madness and college basketball we're going to talk about.
Yes, we are.
We got first day of spring today.
Yes, we do.
This Friday. And we got state championships where Section 1, your favorite section, is representing pretty strong.
9 out of 10 teams made it to the state semifinals, the Final Four at Visions Veterans Memorial Arena in Binghamton, New York. Beautiful Binghamton, New York.
Your second favorite place.
Absolutely. Love Binghamton. Great school there. Binghamton University, SUNY Binghamton, now referred to as Binghamton University. So we had 2 games last night. Hudson, unfortunately, beat Tapenzee boys in the state semifinals last night, 57-45. Tapenzee's season comes to an end. They had a great run this year. They played fantastic basketball. And
Coach, hold on, Coach.
We'll
we got him back. We got some Wi-Fi back.
So,
we tweaked it over there live.
Kevin, we were talking about Tapenzee and Hudson in last night's state semifinal. So we're going to take your lead now that we got you back online since you saw the game. Talk to us, and then we'll add our comments.
Yeah, it was bound to happen at some point that TZ was just going to not play well in a game. I mean, the team that they faced, Hudson, it's kind of crazy. Hudson lost early in the season by 20 points to Red Hook, which lost by 25 points to Beacon, who lost by 20 points to Tapenzee. So this was set up. You thought, TZ's going to walk through this. That's why they play the games, Coach, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Hudson was very well coached. They moved the ball really well. Thought they were very athletic on the interior. And they were able to do things that Tapenzee opponents can't typically do, which is move the ball, finish in transition, finish in traffic in the lane, and rebounded well. TZ just didn't make shots. And, I hate using a sports metaphor for a sports situation, but it's almost, Tapenzee was a little bit like a running football team that they'll just ground and pound.
Right.
But when they get behind, they have a hard time catching up. So when they got behind in that game, they just don't shoot threes well enough to get back into a game. And, they were getting stops, they weren't getting baskets, and they never got momentum. And credit to Hudson, they were very good. And, Hudson now plays West Hill for the Class A championship game tonight. West Hill was very impressive when I watched them play. So TZ would have had a hard time winning tonight. They couldn't get through last night. And for the third time in 4 years, though, they get to the state Final Four, which is pretty remarkable.
It's amazing. And credit to Ryan McWilliams and his staff and those guys over there. They did an amazing job. I want to comment on what you just said about the running analogy that you used.
Yeah.
I think it's 100% correct. I think the problem is they're not explosive enough to come from double digits down. And they just don't make enough shots to do that. If they're ahead and now you're playing uphill against them, you're in trouble. But if you can get ahead of them, like you said, they don't make enough shots when they're behind in that situation.
Yeah.
It's tough go.
Pretty crazy about them, though. You're absolutely right. They're just not a great three-point shooting team. They can make threes, but they just weren't making threes last night. The other thing about them is that their defense, even in the loss at the end of the season, they lost 3 games this season. 57 points matches the most points they allowed in a game all year, which was Suffolk, the game they lost at home. But they hadn't allowed another team over 49 points all year. I mean, that's unbelievable. 23 games, no one over 49. It's pretty remarkable.
Kevin, I didn't. We're in the middle of busy season at Chris Ward basketball right now, so I didn't get a chance to see it. I did see your comments. I read your comments on X. Hudson got backdoor cuts on them. You said they had which is uncharacteristic of Tapenzee defense to get backdoored and get easy layups.
Yeah, it was. And, Tapenzee's thing is they don't really offensive rebounds. They want to get back and deny transition.
Right.
And it seemed like the few times when Tapenzee didn't get back, they paid for it every time. So that was one thing. But then in the half court, Hudson was really good. I mean, just, as I said, finishing, cutting. They made a lot of great passes for easy baskets, which just doesn't happen against Tapenzee.
No, it doesn't.
TZ was just a little off. I don't know, both ends. Just wasn't typical what we've seen the last few weeks. It's hard to do what they do with 5 players, game in, game out against all these great teams. It's just hard to do it. They make it look easy, but it's not. And Hudson was just a better team last night.
And for our viewers, that watch our podcast, Hudson, that area, is that up by where Rip Van Winkle or the bridge is? Is that the Hudson area up there? Or is it further up?
It's north of Albany.
Okay, just north of Albany.
I think we're talking about the same place.
Yep.
I'm no Ray McNally like you are. I don't know.
Oh boy.
Listen, though, if we want to stump Coach, we can stump him on geography of New York State, because he gets lost once he gets past Westchester County and the Rockland County.
And Bergen, that's about it.
Yeah, so listen, that's why we play the game.
Absolutely.
Credit to TZ and
great
the crew.
season.
Great
Congratulations to the guys and the program in the town. And then we obviously you saw a great AAA girls state semifinal matchup last night. You ready to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, Albertus Magnus played Shaker. I think whenever Albertus Magnus has a competitive game in New York, people gasp and they're like, what do you mean? What are they? Shaker was great. Shaker is the best public school team in the state, maybe in the last couple of years that I've seen. They have 4 college basketball players in their lineup. They challenged Albertus. They got ahead early. They were able to kind of limit what Julia Scott was able to do inside in the first half, but man, that's why they played 4 quarters, because Julia Scott found her way in. Sarah Nejai was terrific. Julia had 32 points. It may be the trademark game of her entire career, because they were down 13 in the second half. She played unbelievable. She carried them. She was just relentless on the glass on both ends. And if you're going to remember her for one thing, that game last night might have been it. And Sarah Nejai had 17 points. And just credit to Pat Buckley, man. Talk about pushing all the right buttons and the moves they made, defensive switches they made. Kind of earned it last night, and I think that they I don't want to say walk, but they should win tonight with no problem.
Well, you said it. You said it in the beginning of the season. You said it in the bracket show that we did, that their competition is right there. Shaker, when they meet Shaker.
You said Shaker day one, Kevin.
Day one.
You said it day one on our show, that they were going to be that ultimately those teams were going to collide and play each other.
Listen, coming back from 13 points at halftime is always difficult.
Yeah, it's weird to say this. I actually think Shaker might have been the better team might be the better team overall. Albertus just found a way to beat them last night.
Yeah, I bet you Coach Buckley did it with a smile.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
I don't know if he was smiling the way that we normally see him smile, but he got it done. 13 down, Kevin. I saw that on X. Obviously, I follow you, so I saw it on X.
Yeah.
They were down 13.
I appreciate the follow, Coach.
Oh, well, thank you for following.
Well, listen,
us
you guys
as well. So. Anyway,
now you got a coach. You got to shout out his handle.
I only follow at Kevin at KDJ. I think it
KDJ
is.
Media.
Yeah. So, but listen, But a credit to them to get it to overtime. Get there, extend the game to overtime, and then get it done in overtime and finish that.
Yeah.
Nejai hit the shot to force overtime, and when she hit the shot, you're like, that's it, they're going to win. Like, momentum carries so much. UNC and VCU, right, Coach? When VCU forces overtime, they're gonna wait. They're gonna be. I thought they'd score a few times in the first 5 minutes of overtime. But
we're gonna talk about that a little bit as well.
I can feel the coaches.
We could do 3 hours on one day of the NCAA tournament with Coach Ward. But.
I can feel the heat. I can feel the heat coming off. It's like the sun over here. Kevin, I might have to take this sweater off.
So I'm starting to sweat too. So, but I'm happy for Albertus. Happy for Coach Buckley and his staff. Happy for those girls. When Nejai hit that shot, Kevin, how much time was left?
I don't remember. It was in the, so I wasn't there. I'm emceeing a banquet last night in Saratoga for the athletic administrators of the year.
Oh, we saw that. 3 of our administrators got awards.
Yes, yeah. Mike Galino, Barry Stuman, and Susan Reed from Rye. So I had the game on. It was very inconveniently scheduled to finish right around the time I was starting this. So I had my computer on the dais as I'm standing up there, giving a count, watching the game. And so the NFHS broadcast was great, but I had a hard time with seeing the clock of this. Again, I'm trying to get people situated and get ready to host in front of 300 people.
Right.
I'm like, hey, everybody, could you just let me finish watching this girls' basketball game right now?
I can see it now. Kevin on the dais. Nobody even knows what he's looking at. He just, thank you, everybody. I'm so happy to be here tonight. Damn, man, she just hit that shot. Did you see that shot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my bad.
They probably thought I was like some degenerate gambler watching the NCAA tournament.
So, Kevin, who do we have today? Tell us who we have today on the boys' side and then the girls' side.
We have Rye today. Rye's playing today. They're playing Amsterdam coming up. It's going to be a little delayed now because this game just ended.
Right.
This Seton Catholic and Penfield game. Penfield won. So they're on the other side of the AA championship, and they beat Seton Catholic, which was the home team. They're local to Binghamton, so a lot of fans are here wearing green, and they're all walking out right now with their heads down to back into the day here in this cloudy day in Binghamton. And so Rye's got Amsterdam, which is actually not far either from. They're kind of on the western half of Albany's section 2. So they probably took the same drive I did just now from on Route 88 and the scenic drive, and. So they're going to play next. Rye, I watched Amsterdam play a little bit on some of the stream. It's hard to know on the stream, but they kind of remind me a lot of Rye in that they're very athletic, they're long, their guards can shoot, the guards can drive, the big men can shoot. They're kind of like Rye in that sense. I don't know if I've seen the depth of Amsterdam that I know Rye has.
Right.
So it's going to be a matter of, are the 9 guys from Rye all going to keep playing the way they've been playing?
So they're going to need that. In order for Rye to get this done today, they're going to need that bench production that they've gotten this last third of the season, correct?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's kind of, when you get to this point, you need everybody to play well.
You
can't have any weak links. Weak links are what send you home, So
yes, they do.
I think Rye's kind of poised and ready for this. When you think about, this is like house money a little bit for some of these players. They look at it like that because this is the extra games in their third sport, and it's kind of crazy to think that they're in the state semifinal. Like all these football players, lacrosse players, baseball player. I mean, everyone plays different sports in Rye, and basketball is not anybody's real number one. And they're 2 wins away from a state championship, and they have a good chance to win it.
Except for my man Ben Hudson.
Only one.
His shoulders and practices his three-pointer like this, bam, to the crowd. Like he's the basketball player. This is his thing, and as a junior, being with these guys,
it's got to be a great experience for Ben Hudson right now to have these seniors, Kevin, right?
Yeah. It totally is. 100%.
So we have Rye coming up now, and then who else is next?
Then on the boys' side tonight, we have Mamaroneck plays Christian Brothers Academy from Syracuse. Albany. Sorry.
Albany. CBA Albany.
Albany, CBA Albany, and they're 23-0, and they're really good. I mean, they're really good. They remind me a little bit of Mamaroneck in the sense that they have 2 brothers that are probably combined to average 38 to 40 points a game. Mamaroneck's got 2 seniors that average about 38 to 40 points a game.
Right.
They do a majority of their scoring between the 2 guys, and this game is a classic who the 3, 4, 5 players are going to be in the game. Sorry, sir. So I'm in people's way here. So the 3, 4, 5 players are
reporting.
I would say the advantage of this game probably goes to Christian Brothers Academy, simply because private schools typically have a better supporting cast than public schools.
Correct.
And that's what we got here
100%.
today. And so I would not be surprised if Mamaroneck loses today and gets beat. I mean, I would like to see them win. I think they have a really good chance to win.
Destiny.
But I would not be surprised if some guy who, averages 7 or 8 points a game for CBA scores 15 to 20 points and they win. Because that's
right,
just
because they've got basketball. They've got basketball players, and people need to understand CBA. Up there, they're going to get. They attract most of the time single specific athletes for that particular sport.
Yeah, people don't realize that, like Albany's and Syracuse is too, when there's a dominant Catholic school presence. And you're surrounded by so many small schools, small town, like a lot of Class C and D schools. Those players typically don't stay at those schools. They go to a larger school for larger opportunities. Section 1 has Catholic schools, but they're surrounded by large schools, so you're still in a bigger environment. But it's sort of where New York State is headed a little bit with this Catholic school situation. And that's why changes need to be made. But also,
it's even going to get more crazy because Florida just passed the law that you could pay high school kids now. So when that happens in New York, which usually we're like
we're already paying high school kids.
Yeah, they have. There's an opportunity for them to get paid, but not the way Florida's setup is.
Right.
No, not yet.
Not full like NIL type stuff. But yeah, whole different conversation.
Listen, so on the girls' side, is Tuckahoe playing as we speak?
They're tipping off very soon. They're playing Greenwich out of the northern Albany region also. And I'll tell you, I watched
tough matchup
Greenwich
for them today. Yep.
I think Greenwich is pretty awesome. I think Greenwich might be the best, most talented team within their class. I think Greenwich, when I watched Greenwich, I'm like, this looks like a Class A school. They look like they could play with Tapenzee. So that's a tough test for Tuckahoe, and it seems like Tuckahoe's got this great group. They've been playing awesome, Brooke Matarazzo and Juliana Manginelli and Chloe Angelo, and the whole team is playing great, but it's just like a tough time to be in Class C in New York State because the small schools are really, really impressive. And Greenwich is great, and if they win that, they got to play probably Frewsburg, who's might be just as good. So tough road for Tuckahoe.
And we want to let people know out there that young lady from Greenwich has 2,300 points that they're going to be facing today.
Yeah, so
2,300.
Small schools. There's a lot of Class C and D schools up in that part of the state, so she's not playing against larger schools, but she's still awesome. Like ball handling, I don't know, man. She might be as good of a ball handler as I've seen this year. So I was really kind of floored a little bit when I watched Greenwich.
And then we have Tapenzee girls as well.
Yeah, they play tomorrow. Tapenzee girls play tomorrow. Albertus Magnus plays tonight for the state championship. Tapenzee plays tomorrow. They're playing Albany Academy, so another private school. And Tapenzee could, if they were going to hand out a plaque to somebody for being the best public school team in New York State in Class A, go to Tapenzee because they're the only public school team left in the public school tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
In Class A in the state semifinal.
Notre Dame.
Wow.
Yeah, Notre Dame, Our Lady of Mercy, and then you've got on that other side, and then you got Albany Academy. So, TZ, public school basketball.
TZ, the only public
didn't know
school.
they were going to play in the Federation, did they today?
No.
All right.
So
the only public school.
But
left
let me say,
I
watched Albany Academy. They're really good. I think Tapenzee could definitely win. I'm not saying that they can't win. I would say they're underdogs going into the game. But I will tell you that I think the best thing that happened to Tapenzee was almost getting beat by a Long Island team that I don't think they took all that serious in the last round. They played Plain Edge, and Plain Edge was really good. Challenged them. They got out on the shooters. Adriana Duriano still had 6 3-pointers in the game, but it was a struggle to get shots. And Albany Academy is going to do the same thing. And it's going to be a matter if other players can step up like they did against Plain Edge.
And YMA, when is YMA playing?
YMA plays. I'm blanking. They're playing this weekend. I know that.
Okay, yeah, but that's okay, right? And what do we know about their opponent?
I think they're playing today. They're playing today. So yeah,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they've again, they're first time ever in the state Final Four, and when YMA is at their best, they're really good. So they've got to play well. I think Liliana Toro, the point guard, she's got to protect the ball and run the offense.
She has to,
because we've seen ups and downs with this team. They're coming off an emotional win, in their regional championship game in Long Island. So I was impressed with how they responded in the second half of that game, and hopefully the momentum for them carries in.
And then also the Cinderella Nyack Redhawks.
Nyack. So yeah, we still have more teams to go. Nyack. They're a Cinderella team. They've got a tough challenge. And then you've also got to remember that North Salem boys. North Salem boys are playing tomorrow. North Salem boys are the biggest underdog of any team this weekend against Burn Knox Westerlo, who is like this phenomenon of a Class C program who opted out of small school leagues and play this year to play the biggest and best teams they can get on their schedule. Whoever would be, they were like a mid-major, like Miami, Ohio, mid-major, trying to play Duke in North Carolina. That's what they were. And and
their records, what? Like, didn't they have don't they have an outstanding record?
Like 17
20
and 4. 20 and 4. They lost to.
Yeah.
I think they lost. They played Kingston. I think they lost to Kingston, but they played all like AAA and AA size schools.
Wow.
They are defending state champions, and I'll tell you, they're worth. Coach Ward, you're going to get NFHS Network for the weekend. They're worth it because you can watch them play against North Salem tomorrow. North Salem has their hands full for sure.
Okay. All right. And best of luck to the Tigers. Obviously, we want Section 1 to do well, but didn't want to forget about Coach Brandt, Max Catrone, Bryce, and company. We want to make sure that we give them a shout out.
Yeah,
as well.
they're on a nice run. I mean, they're tough, man. They're like mentally tough team. We saw it against Tuckahoe in the section championship, and
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be ready. I think they're going to love coming here in this environment, and it's going to be Burn Knox travels well for a small school, and I think they're going to enjoy it. I think they're going to enjoy, not much blue and gold in the crowd. They're going to enjoy being the underdogs. And
it'll be Burn Knox, what Westerlo. It'll be whatever their colors are. I'm sure they're going to show up en masse in Binghamton, no doubt.
Speaking about environment, Kevin, how we doing over there? The Rye game's soon to start. How's the crowd?
They're warming
we got a big
up now.
Rye crowd there or no?
I can't see the clock. How much time's on the clock? I got to get down to the court. They're all ready to go, man. I think, as I said, Rye. I saw some Rye folks walking in. I don't think Rye has school today. I think it's like a superintendent's conference, so you might get a good Rye crowd. I'm giving you the update. So YMA plays at 3:15 today against Mechanicville.
Okay.
And Nyack
they got a shot at winning
tomorrow.
that? Do they have a shot at Do they have a shot at winning? YMA got a shot at winning the state semifinal?
I do. I think so. Shenango Forks.
And what about Nyack's?
Shenango Forks and Marcellus from the other side. Shenango Forks is actually who YMA lost to last year in the state quarterfinal. So I'm sure they'd like to get a chance back at them again. And there's familiarity. They know what they run and stuff, and they're very good. I think that Marcellus might be the team to beat. But and then Nyack is playing on Saturday. They're playing 3:15 against Bethlehem, which is 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I think, a drive from Hudson Valley Community College. So Nyack hopefully will get some folks to come up to the Thruway and go up to Troy to support them. But it's going to be a very loud environment for the other team.
It'll be a de facto home game for Bethlehem.
Yeah, Bethlehem is in Section 2. Troy, it's not far.
No, right there.
You see, Kevin's by the concession stand the entire time. By the concession stand,
absolutely
making me hungry this morning.
No.
It's amazing. So we're playing Bethlehem, Amsterdam after they beat Nottingham. All these European cities that we've recreated here. They're basically the same as they are, no, they're not. No, they're not.
The sheriff of Nottingham will be there.
No, they're not. They're not Nottingham, England. They're not Bethlehem. No, none of them.
Rome,
none of them
Greece,
are what there is.
There's probably 25 in New York State. There's like a Peru. There's a Rome. There's all these international cities that have been recreated here in New York. and basically are just like replicas of Rome. It's like basically the same as Rome in Italy. You know?
Right.
Rome, New York.
Tapenzee.
Sure.
Tapenzee is the natives. The native language of Tapenzee coming up to represent against the sheriffs of Nottingham
Yes.
and Bethlehem
Absolutely.
and the rest.
Yeah.
I love it, man. We love your brain, Kevin. All right, so you got to cover the game. We know
I gotta get down.
that's happening now.
Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate
Thank you for
that,
coming
yeah.
on, Kay.
Claudio, thanks for making
Kevin,
this work, buddy.
appreciate
I'm
you.
sorry about the audio issues, but we're all good. We survived.
No, you
Yeah.
sound fantastic.
Yeah.
No, you sound great.
All right,
You
thanks,
sound
guys.
great.
Good luck. Have a good day.
Looking forward to having you back in the studio, man.
All right, have a great day. We'll talk to you later,
All right,
Kevin.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Awesome.
this guy travels from. He's doing last night. He's doing banquet dinners, doing the videos for that from the media side
Amazing.
while watching the stream lives. Okay, not to mention, he's a big college football, college basketball fan, so he's listening to that stuff too.
Of course.
And then he's this morning ready to go to cover the Rye game.
And I think he's doing play-by-play for the Rye game.
I mean,
So
this
and
man,
he's trying to-
he needs a
he's trying to save
gas
his,
card.
he's trying to
Mileage.
save his voice is what he's trying to do. Because you can hear you a little bit scratchy, but
Yeah. Well, listen, man. It's like you said. He's the hardest working man in media.
he works his tail off. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Well, we're lucky to have him. Lucky to give him some time there on site there in Binghamton, your second favorite place in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I
So,
kinda.
listen, great segue, Coach.
Well, I want before we get off topic.
Yeah, I want to segue. I got you. I
Okay,
think,
before we segue.
right, well, I think you're a shooting guard by nature.
Oh, point at 5'10".
Well, listen, I consider myself a point guard. You have a much better jump shot than I do.
Yeah, but
Right?
it was that was because of an environment. I needed to have a better.
Well, listen, Coach has a better jump shot than me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ball here and do the following. I'm going to take the ball and say, listen, right now, Coach, this is a great segue. I'm going to pass you the ball because I want you to talk about, as we transition from a little high school to college conversation, I want you to talk about these kids who can play AAU basketball,
Yes,
who are seniors
absolutely.
and going there. I think it's a very important message to have, and I'd love for you to share with the audience
Okay.
how you feel about
All
that.
right, I will. I want to go back just for a second, John, if you don't mind. Really proud of our teams. 9 out of 10 teams got to the state semifinals. The Final Four in Troy and Binghamton. Obviously, Woodlands had an excruciating loss. I want to also compliment them on their season. They got to the regional final. They won their third consecutive gold ball. Aaron Woodbury, Sebastian Benitez, McKinney,
Yeah,
and
Sean,
McKinney and company.
I was going to bring that up because Claudio, behind our executive producer,
he knows all those.
He knows all those kids. I didn't want to make him
and I know
sad
that,
here
and
on this
Noah
Friday.
Cherubin. Also, they had a great year. Want to congratulate them. They just a tough loss over in Long Island. But I want to make sure that we shout them out too. And Coach Rappaport and Coach Gerstel, they've had an amazing 3-year run with that group.
Incredible.
Now I want to go. Now we'll go back. So I want the high school graduating seniors to listen to what I'm about to say to them. Okay, and those of you that have signed or committed, if you've signed Division II, or you've been committed to, you've received a roster spot from a Division III program, for you not to play AAU this spring of your senior year is an incredible mistake on your part.
Why?
Because, as my son says, there's nothing like playing live under the whistle. Nothing like it. And what I mean by that is you don't want to miss an opportunity to play 25 to 30 more games in that environment, competitive environment where wins and losses matter. You don't want to take that and throw it in the trash, because if you do that, you're making a mistake. Because the kids, every kid that we had prior to us going off the road, played AAU basketball springtime of their senior year, except for one. And the only one that didn't do that was because he was the only one that was being recruited at his position. So he already knew that he was going to basically be the starter there at the college that he was going to attend. Everybody else played AAU here. in the springtime of their senior year that was a Division II or Division III player. And let me tell you what happened. They were more prepared and they were ready to play come that October than the kids that said, I'm going to work out on my own. I'm gonna work out with my player development coach. I'm gonna weight train on my own, because guess what? They didn't do it the right way.
No one does it on their own, Coach.
Of course.
You know that. Very fair people. But I want to say something, because you brought up not just the coach's perspective, but you said, as my son said. For those of you who do not know Chris Ward Jr., you should follow him on Instagram. This is a young man, okay, who now plays professional basketball in Europe. So it's not just Coach talking about how important it is for you guys to prepare for your college season and not take for granted for the fact that you're going to play college ball. But if you want to play professional basketball, not NBA, maybe G League, maybe overseas pro,
Right.
This young man, Chris Ward Jr., is now currently still playing professional basketball because of things like that, live game in action that you cannot replicate anywhere else. And I think that's why you're right. AAU is so important this spring.
You have to have it. Now I'm going to say this for the Division II kids. I don't think you guys should play. They should play up until probably the last 2 live periods. Same thing with Division III. Unless you're looking for something else, then you can play the last 2 live period events. D2 doesn't have to do that. Those kids are signed. But they should play up until the live period events, the last 2 events of the summer AAU, spring/summer AAU season. They should play up until then. Division III should play all the way through. And here's the other thing that people need to understand. I want to educate our parents and our players and our coaches that maybe don't know this. Girls basketball, they don't play their senior year. It's a true 17 and under. Once you get this, so once they play their last year is summertime after their junior year. That's not the case on the boys' side. Boys AAU is not 17 and under. You know this. I know this because we're on the circuit. Boys AAU is 19 and under. U19. Because a lot of the kids have reclassed 8th grade. And then if they're talented enough and have gotten academic money and athletic money, they go to the prep school, they reclass again. So now they're coming out of prep school at 19.
I'm laughing, Coach, because you're right. I was on that circuit, and you see some of these kids, you're like, wait a minute, this kid's not 17 years old. There's no way. No, this is a grown man at 19.
It's a grown man.
Dunking the ball.
19 years of age.
Man. So yes.
19 years of age. So AAU boys is different. That's why our springtime of the senior year, those young men need to be playing 25 to 30 more games. It's only going to help them. Now, the kids that did not do that on the boys' side, the ones that refused to play, other than the one example that I'm talking about, were very much behind the 8 ball when they got on the college campus, because they had not played a basketball game in that environment since the last one they played in their high school careers.
Coach, how does the scholarships work? If you're a scholarship athlete, because you could be a scholarship in D2, would you give the same advice? They should play?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I looked it up. I want to make sure I was correct. Division II guys can play springtime of their summertime of their senior year. I think they should play.
What if they get hurt? If they're a scholarship athlete,
then that's so for the most part, the Division II guys, and that's a great question. Excuse me. For the most part, most coaches, if they're in an environment where they're in a program, are going, if they can't get a hold of them on campus in the summertime, are going to probably give them their blessing. It depends on the program. So I'll use Anthony Ficarata as an example. Anthony is going to St. Thomas Aquinas, which is right down the road. So if you're a D2 kid signee, and you're located right down the road geographically from the school, the institution you're going to attend in college, then and your coach is going to have you on campus basically every day. You know, you're just not living on campus like you would at Division I.
Right.
That's a different situation. Now you're playing with the guys that are there. Most of the guys are locally in there or they're going to play summer school. That's different. If you signed, let's say you like for me, I played at USC Upstate. USC Upstate was 3.5 hours away. If I had AAU springtime of my senior year, I'd have played AAU in my in the Somerville, Charleston area.
Right,
I'd have played because I can't get up there every day from 3.5 hours away. So I think it depends on the situation. It also depends on the coaching staff.
Wait, you mean you didn't have a helicopter that you have?
No,
now
I didn't have a helicopter. That's for sure. I had a 78 LTD. They took me up to Spartanburg. So anyway, yeah.
I thought Coach was going to say, Claudio, that he was riding a horse. I was like, Coach, man, you're not that old. You know?
But I really am. And parents, I really am very, very. I feel very strongly about this, that you guys have got to make sure your kids are playing, because unless it's a special kid and a special situation and you've got everything set up where everything from Monday through Friday is organized, it's different. They got to play. They have to play under the whistle. They need those 25 to 30 games. It's an extra year without having to pay for prep school.
That's a great point.
It basically is your prep school year without having to pay $55,000 to $60,000.
Coach, when is it too late? Okay, so this is going to be Sunday, March 22nd, when people are watching this. Is it too late for these kids to sign up? Is there still a chance to sign up for the season?
Listen, if they're a college level player and they've already committed either they've either signed D2 or D3, I got news for you. Any program director will take those kids in a heartbeat, because they already know, those AAU program directors already know about those kids in their area, and they'll find a place for them.
Gotcha.
But like I said, girls AAU completely different from boys. Boys is U19.
So unfair, ladies. We should have a 18 and under league for these young ladies.
And if we're gonna, you brought up a great point. So let's talk about that. Unless you're a Division I signee, if you're a Division I signee, you're going up on campus. You're getting the weight training. You're taking summer courses. You're getting individual development. You're also getting nutrition. They got the nutrition thing now, the fuel thing, whatever they call it. So for nutrition, the fuel.
The whole roadmap wrapped.
Absolutely, they have everything. So if you're Division I, you're gone once you get done with high school graduation, you're gone. Plus you're getting your credits to get ahead so you can graduate. Make sure you graduate either on time or early. All right. I think on the girls' side, there should be springtime AAU senior year to help them get ready for Division II and Division III college basketball. I think there should be an 18 and under on the girls' side.
Who makes those rules? AAU? Right?
Yeah, yes, I guess. I mean, it's unspoken.
Yeah.
It's an unspoken rule. I think it's just the way it's always been. But I think it hurts the young ladies, unless they're going to be on campus Division II, or they're close enough geographically Division II. I think it hurts them not to get the 25 to 30 games, just like the boys. The girls should have 18 and under so that they're having their prep year at home, but they're still playing 25 to 30 games. Do I think they need to travel like they did prior to their senior year? No. Do they need to go to Chicago? No. Do they need to go, to Tennessee like they used to back in the day, Murfreesboro? No. But they need to play.
So we basically need a zero gravity and those fine.
But a high level, but like an 18, yeah.
Both of them could start a league so these young girls can play.
But 18U, and for the girls that have committed to they've either signed a D2 or they have a committed roster spot, they've been offered a roster spot at the D3 school of their choice.
I also think that a lot of the high school girls that we've interviewed and had a chance to do, who maybe are not going to play basketball in college, play other sports. We've had a lot of lacrosse players, right? I think they would enjoy
if they I mean, if you're serious, yes, but it has to be for those girls really good young ladies that are really good athletes, that are really good players.
Right. It's like an all-star
Correct.
team, so to speak.
You have that circuit here, you know, within like a 2-hour drive, and let them compete and get ready for their freshman year in college. I think it's so important, and I'm glad we were able to talk about it. And thank you for giving me a voice on this, John, because this is something I really believe in, and this is no doubt a thing that these kids need to be doing. They have to play.
Listen, your voice is more important than most. You live and breathe young athletes, right? You coach many sports, but you ended up choosing basketball as that sport to really coach. And I've watched you coach not only my son, I've watched you coach camps, and I've watched you look at it and the way the kids gravitate towards you. And if you've never seen Coach Ward coach, one, he's a maniac on the court. I call him Spider-Man because he's always doing these different moves and so forth, and I love watching it. He never has his voice after the second game, but that's because that's how much he cares.
Sure.
Putting these kids in the right position. But the one thing that I always admire and love, and for those who have never seen Coach Ward coach at the camp or so forth, is you're so passionate about the kids, about, hey, let's do it right. Let's look at it this way. I got this year to travel with you to a lot of high school games. And the amount of people that come up to you that are like, hey, coach, my son, do you think he could play college basketball? I watched him. I think he could play college basketball. You're very honest you're empathetically honest with the parents. Here's some things they got to improve, and here's a chance. Or, hey, D3 is probably right, D2 is maybe, but you got to give this. You give so much free advice to these kids and their parents, and it's your gift. It's your gift. So I think
thank you,
listen
John.
to him. His voice is very important for all of you kids that want to play college ball and go on above.
I want, and so people haven't seen the thing that we did together on Relive the Moments. So now that they're here on the Winning Moments show, I want kids from our area or people from our area to be very successful. And it costs nothing to be sincere, to be authentic, to care. It costs nothing. And when people come to me, that's what I'm going to give them. And I want the kids to understand, I want the parents to understand that anything we can do, our organization, our program, to help them and guide them and put them in the right direction, we're going to do it with the best intentions. And we're going to do it in a way in which it's best for what their choice is or what they're very good. We don't steer people here. We show you the avenues. Here's the avenue you can go down if this is what you want. This is this is your second option. This is your third option. And I don't mean that like an A, B, or C.
Right.
I mean that like, all right, here's your choices. Which road do you want to take? But we want to give them roads. Because when I came up, my parents didn't understand the recruiting process. My parents didn't understand what it entailed, and I will speak to this from a personal perspective. I signed with USC Upstate. I was kept at USC Upstate the majority of the day when I went for my tryout because NAIA Division II, NAIA or NCAA Division II, they basically try you out before they sign you. I was supposed to go to a place called Limestone University, who just closed down. They used to have a national Division II powerhouse in lacrosse, and then the school closed. And they were also outstanding in basketball. I was supposed to go there for my second tryout that day. They kept us longer. We never got to Limestone. 20 years later, I find out from somebody that I know very close to our program that I was signed by USC Upstate so I wouldn't go someplace else. That is a true story. That is an absolute true story. And I will never say that person's name ever, but that person was very close to the program when I was playing there. And I don't want that to happen to any player. And I don't want that to happen where parents have got to pick up the pieces. So if they come to me for advice and guidance, I'm going to make sure that I help not only make the right decision, but protect them from something like that happening to them. My parents had no idea. I was absolutely stunned. I found that out 16 years later, 20 years later.
Which is insane. It's how it was done back then, unfortunately. The coach mentioned an episode for Relive the Moments. We'll put that here on the Winning Moments so you guys can see the first interview that I had the honor of having with Coach Ward. And listen, since we got so heavy there on the topic because it's so personal to you, and it's a personal experience, and I love that. Why don't we lower your blood pressure, talk about something fun that you don't care that much about, like how'd you do in your bracket last night?
Oh man. So I think we were in one bracket we were 12-3, and the other one we're 11-4. I like to shout out to South Florida for not showing up until the last 10 minutes of their game last night. Appreciate you, South Florida and the Bulls. I want to shout out to Tobin Anderson, who was the special assistant for Coach Hudson at South Florida. Coach Tobin Anderson is now the new head coach at Tennessee Tech in Cookeville, Tennessee. So we shout out to Tobin, who had a great run at Stack and was the head coach and had a great run at Iona, and we're very happy for him. But yeah, the Bulls didn't shoot the ball well at the beginning, 6% in the first half, and they just ran out of time. I think if they shot the ball even halfway decent first half, second half, with Mikel Brown out from Louisville, they would have won the basketball game, ended up losing by 5. I picked St. Louis in one bracket. I picked Georgia in the other.
How many brackets you
I
have,
had
Coach?
two. We had two. Just
Only
two.
two brackets.
Just two. And how about Georgia showing up and getting 35 pieced? 30. John Lim, how do you're an SEC Power 4 school. In
football.
They got, as we say down south, they got athletes down there now.
They do.
They got athletes on the basketball team too. I'm astounded at how they did not show up to compete. They look like, and Mike White's an outstanding coach at Georgia, outstanding coach. But they got out-coached. They were outplayed. They got out-competed. They got dominated.
Too much sweet tea.
Yeah, in Athens. Where was
that
it?
sweet tea is dangerous down south, Coach.
Yeah, it must have made them lethargic.
Right.
And by the way, speaking of sweet tea, the capital of sweet tea in the world is none other than Summerville, South Carolina, which is where I grew up. So speaking of
Summerville,
South Carolina.
South Carolina
is the capital of
Have you been there before?
Tea. I've been there before a little bit.
Have you?
Yes, just a little bit. Anyway, so Georgia, appreciate you showing up, getting beat by 35 to St. Louis. I had St. Louis on the other side. People in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, are screaming right now on talk radio, wanting the demise of their head coach, Hubert Davis.
Great Knick player.
Great, and from all accounts, a great human being.
Yep.
Great player, great human being, cares about Carolina. As a coach, your heart goes out to coaches when they're on the hot seat. And North Carolina up 19. But somebody forgot to tell VCU. Somebody forgot to tell VCU, Claudio, that the game wasn't over yet. And there's been some talk about Trimble. There's 3 of the guys that didn't come off the floor in the second half. Trimble, I forget the big kid, Versar, whatever, didn't come off the floor even when they were up 19. Didn't give them a 3-minute break. And they look like they started missing some easy ones. And you let VCU and Phil Martelli Jr. get back in the game. They get it to overtime. And VCU moves on. I did have VCU winning in that bracket.
Wow.
I did.
Wow.
But I had only because Caleb Barnes wasn't there. He was injured. The one and done lottery pick from North Carolina. It just changed them.
Yeah.
Without him being on the floor. And then High Point University. Appreciate you, High Point. Appreciate you not. Didn't know there was more than just the furniture capital of the world, High Point, North Carolina. So High Point University upsets a coming into the tournament a very good Wisconsin team that was playing great basketball at the right time. High Point's very good. They were 30-2 this year. There's a ton of money in that program. If you've ever seen their arena, they have luxury box suites around the outside, similar to Madison Square Garden. It is a big-time program at a mid-major level, and they were able to beat Wisconsin last night. I did not have that. A lot of people did, but I did not have that. Yeah, because of the way they shoot the basketball.
Listen, that's why we play the game, Coach.
Absolutely. But Wisconsin, night.
So let's ask this question, right? Because young Deainy almost had I saw Kevin put the bracket up there for little Deainy,
right.
And he had Duke as his champion.
Oh boy, how about that one yesterday?
He almost had to tear that bracket up. He almost had to tear it up.
Dylan Devaney would have been crying at home, and I'd have been crying with him because my bracket would have been busted too. So let's credit Jerry McNamara, upstate New York legend, Syracuse grad, great player at Syracuse.
Phenomenal player.
Absolutely. Won a national championship with Carmelo.
Yep.
Hit 6 threes in the national championship game. He was the difference for them.
Mr. Buckets.
Against Kansas. Yep. Back in the day. But what he did at Siena is incredible. 2 wins 2 years ago. Listen, they were up 11 to the number 1 overall seed of the tournament and had it going in their direction. The issue was, for whatever reason, and I'm going to say this as a coach because parents and players need to hear this. Coaches are going to play in crucial games and situations the people they trust most. And if they don't trust anybody on the bench in a game like that, they're not going to play them. What happened yesterday? How many players did Siena play? 5.
It was the entire game. They only played 5?
5 the entire game into the last 18 seconds. Basically. 5 guys.
That's a lot to put on 5 guys.
That's a lot to put on 5 guys, and they almost pulled it off, though. So credit to Jerry McNamara and Siena. John Shire came on post-game and said, we got outplayed, we got outcoached. And credit to him. I would not want to be at the practice today if I was a Duke University player with John Shire, and I wouldn't want to be the assistant coaches for Coach Shire today because I'm sure after breakfast it was not pleasant.
One person I wouldn't mind being right now is young Dylan Devaney, whose bracket is still safe and secure for that pick. And
absolutely.
Also, he is not working today.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's having a lot of fun there.
No, he's not. So, I thought the tournament was fantastic yesterday. I was extremely impressed with Nebraska. I thought Troy was athletic, but the size, their length on the perimeter and the interior length really bothered Troy. And then Gonzaga survives Kennesaw State last night, late night. I stayed up for that one. I know you're shocked that I stayed up till like 2 a.m. to watch that, but
I'm not shocked. I got the phone call at 1:35.
Absolutely, you got a text message.
I totally get that.
So I mean, I think the tournament's where it's at. I think there's some chances for some upsets today. We'll talk more about that, but it was once again the March Madness. There was madness yesterday, first day of the tournament, and we're going to get ready for the second day, see what happens.
I'll tell you this, and we'll move on because, as Kevin said, we can talk about this for hours. But March Madness is probably the most interesting, entertaining, and fun tournament in any sport. How they put all that together, and it's you don't always credit the NCAA for a lot of things tied to sports, but credit to the NCAA. They have figured out how to make this invigorating month and few weeks for that matter. But March Madness is It's so fun. You don't have to be a basketball fan to enjoy the craziness of it.
I mean, it's fascinating. It really is. And then when you have matchups where you say, okay, there's a possibility here, and it's there's nothing like this, because every possession, every moment for 40 minutes matters. Your season comes down to 40 minutes, whether you move on or you go home. And it is absolutely fascinating to watch.
Well, I got to tell you, it was fun to, and thank you for Section 1 for having us. It was fun doing that same style for the Section 1 championships. And yes, I think next year we throw a big March Madness party where you can come watch the game with Coach, watch him break it down, watch him be happy and sail like a roller coaster. It's actually, you might be the second most entertaining thing. You might be the most entertaining thing into March Madness. So bringing it back to the local side, I do want to shout out a couple of people before we wrap up the show. Next week, we have the Section 1 All-Star Game.
Yes, we do.
And there's a couple of individuals that did go through the Chris Ward basketball program. One of those individuals is my son, Sebastian.
Yes.
So I'm very happy for him to
Congratulations
have one more
Sebastian Lim, absolutely.
One more game, playing with a bunch of great basketball players. He's actually, I saw the roster, he is back in line on the roster with another Chris Ward basketball player that Sebastian played with, Jackson Thomas.
So happy for Jackson Thomas. He had a great senior year as well.
Yeah.
So happy for him out of Horace Greeley High School. We had Jackson in our program, as you know, for many years, and Sebastian and Jackson played together here in Forest Green and Black. So
they did.
Happy for them both.
Yeah,
really
good.
happy for them both.
Fun to watch. Fun to watch them. Fun to watch you yell at them. Fun to watch Jackson's dad, Stephen, who I became a good friend with during that run with there, where he's like, John, can you just yell at my kid to shoot? Yeah, sure, exactly. If you yell at my kid to shoot, so we'll just yell at each other's kids so they listen to shoot the ball.
So good. And by the way, great, the Thomas family, off the chain people, so good.
Yeah, they are.
So
it's fun.
Good people.
So that All-Star game will be happening on Tuesday, the 24th.
It's the conference All-Star game, and then the section All-Star game.
I think they changed it up, actually. I think they put it. They kind of mashed it all together.
Oh, good.
So there's doing like a round robin. There's 3 teams.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So the format is there's 3 teams that they put together. In between the games, they have a slam dunk contest and a 3-point contest.
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. So it's going to be fun to watch.
They're starting to make it an event.
They
just
100%.
the way they do. Just the way they did the Section 1 tournament was an event.
Yep.
Now I'm happy that they're doing it this way.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Very happy to hear that. I did not know that. So thank you.
I'll be there.
Thank you for
enlightening.
Thank you for enlightening me, John.
Which doesn't happen very often. So as we wrap up the show, I just want to thank everyone. We've been doing this now for 15 weeks. I think this is our 16th episode. 16 weeks we started this really just on a, hey, what do you guys think about doing this? And Coach said, I could probably do that and be available Friday. And then Kevin was like, yeah, Friday afternoon I can shoot with you guys too. And I never envisioned it turning out the way it turned out and being at Section 1 and being part of this. And I'm so grateful for you two. I'm so grateful for our executive producer, Claudio, who you don't get to see on screen, but everything you see on screen is out of this man's vision and hard work. We could not do it without him and his crew. You've seen him at the county center often when we're there. And I want to let everybody know, all you ADs out there and coaches, that the show is going to take a transition into a more traditional sports show for the spring. We were going to cover more sports than just one. So here back in the lab, we're talking about covering as many sports as we can for the spring season: lacrosse, softball, baseball,
track and field, flag football,
huge, tennis.
Absolutely.
All the athletes, the purpose of our show is to give exposure to those who don't get exposure. The purpose of our company is to raise money, to let these kids create as many winning moments as they can. And as all of you seen from the interactive swag that we wear, then relive those moments with a simple tap. So we're going to send an email out to everyone. Fans watching this right now, please let the coach or the AD know to email us so we can have connection with them, so we can get all the stats. and highlight and showcase all of these kids. Also, please like and subscribe, share this channel. The more followers and views that we can have, the more exposure that we can give you guys. It's a big section. There's a lot of room out there.
Absolutely.
And this is
68 schools.
68 schools over 4 counties. And you and I don't drive as many miles as our partner, Kevin Deainy Jr., who's going to need a break from the road for a minute because he does have 3 beautiful children and a beautiful wife that he has to
Absolutely.
hang out with.
He has to spend some time with as well, invest some time in them as well. Absolutely. Which is the most important.
Most important. Family is the most important. And on the note of family, before we close out the show.
Absolutely.
This is an amazing weekend of birthdays in both our families.
Absolutely.
So today, March 20th, John Colello, a great grandfather to my children and a great man that I've been able to meet. Today's his birthday, so I just want to give a shout out to John. Then tomorrow, I have my late father, Jack Lim. It's his birthday, as well as my younger brother, Chris Lim's birthday.
That's crazy.
So it's March Madness in the Lim house.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So yes, those birthdays are extremely important. Happy birthday to all of those who in my family that'll be having this birthday before the show actually airs. And Coach, how about you? You got any birthdays going on?
Yes, we do. We have a birthday tomorrow. I want to I want to say happy birthday to Lisa Ward. And Lisa Ward has her birthday tomorrow, and want to make sure that people know that she's the driving force behind our organization. She's the reason why we're so successful. She had the vision. She does all the tough work. She does all the administrative. She does the website. She does signups. She does it all. And then she teaches full-time at Ardsley Middle School. So she basically has 2 full-time jobs. Christopher and Mia and I can't thank her enough for everything she does for our family. And when I tell you she does everything, she does everything. So happy birthday to my wife, Lisa. And we love her and we appreciate her very much.
I believe she also plays golf.
No, that's Mia Ward. Mia Ward plays golf.
Oh, that was Mia's golf swing.
That's Mia's golf swing. Absolutely.
Ooh, that's a good golf swing.
There.
She's got a good golf swing.
There. Absolutely. She's getting there. So
love it, Coach. Love it. And Mrs. Ward, Coach will bring home your gift. Thank you for lending me him as much as you do. We appreciate all of you. Lots more to come. We're really excited about this spring season and all the sports we can cover. Again, like and subscribe. Find us on Instagram. Share this channel. And that's a wrap.